All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started today. Today's a really incredible day, incredible topic. We're talking about the difference between success coaching and spiritual coaching. Okay. Now, I myself am a spiritual coach. I have been a success coach in the past, and how I transitioned may give you some keys and clues into why I made the switch. And I've started to understand that as I started off as more of a generalist, as a life coach, I understood I could help people with many different areas of life, and I wasn't really specific as to what my medicine truly was at a specific time. Okay. So I was unaware of my gifts during that time. Okay. And so I wanted to essentially create a pathway to remember what I had once forgotten. Okay. Because when I had started out in this journey, I'd hired a lot of coaches in the industry, business coaches, success coaches, and so forth. But I never really found my mission directly from that. Okay. It was through my own delving deep into the things that they had offered that actually got me the results. So let's share the whiteboard and also share this with the tribe. Hold on. Okay, okay, okay. Busy day today, guys, so I don't got a lot of time today, but we can still dive deep. Okay. All right, so let's get started today. So spiritual coaching versus success coaching, the path to authentic transformation. Okay. Let's actually differentiate them too, so that we can start to understand the main differences. Okay. Now, as success coaching focuses on external achievements like wealth, fame, status, okay, spiritual coaching focuses on inner alignment and authentic fulfillment. So they're there to actually focus on your inner world, not your outer world. Okay. But what if there could be a bridge that combines success and spirituality together? Right? That's also what I'm interested in. So focus is on the external and the internal. The approach is this. I mean, success coaching is pretty generic. Okay. It uses formulas that everybody knows, has been tried and tested many different times. Right? And you just follow the protocol, just follow the protocol, just go through the process, just go through the process. Okay. And it's kind of boring in that way. It's very cookie cutter. It has a very, just go for it kind of thing. Like, just, achieve your goals. Hey there, babe. So the spiritual coaching field has a much more individualized and process oriented thing they're doing. So this one might be using predictive control, like what's going to happen in the future. Oh yeah, I'm going to get this win. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this. But the other approach is like a very individualized process oriented thing. Like what's going on right now and how can I build into the now so that it aligns me to the future, right? It's not that I'm denying the future, but I'm also understanding that my journey is completely individualized. It's different to anybody else's. How they would thrive in that environment is very different to how I would thrive in that environment, right? So it really depends on the approach. And then next is the outcome. So you can have material success, temporary motivations, or more so a lasting peace, you carry with you, right? Which one do you want? I want both personally, okay? So mindset, one can be competitive, very comparison driven, right? Like I'm going to beat everybody. I'm going to compare myself to all my peers around me to make sure that nobody is more skilled than me, more better looking than me, or all this kind of stuff, right? The ego's fluff, as well as the collaborative and connective driven understanding of a spiritual coach that works with you, doesn't work above you in a sense, right? It is almost like a friend, a guide, somebody who's been there before and can share the the knowledge, the wisdom, right? A lot of the times you'll notice that success coaching uses like productivity hacks. This is what I used to double down on back in the day. Like, what's something you can do that can get it done the most fastest way possible, right? Now, that's effective and it can be done, but if you're working from a lot of struggle and a lot of pressure, your product is going to be made from struggle. And so you have to maintain that same level of struggle in order to keep it going because it was born from struggle. So if you were born from struggle, then it's almost like your brain thinks that I need the struggle in order for this to work. But that's not necessarily the case. It's just the way that the mind is telling you and working with you, right? And so using mindfulness, being connected to your emotions, having a soul alignment is how it differs from success coaching. Now, success coaching focuses on very short-term fixes, and there's a risk of burnout because of the quickness, of the swiftness of the issue. It's sort of you go like this, boom, 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 boom. You rise and you crash, you rise and you crash, you rise and you crash. Whereas long-term growth builds this mental toughness, this inner resilience, this strong heart, the strong mind, and it just engages with the long term, right? Double down on people who are long term, right? Um, it's important for your own life. Okay. So listen, why do I think that success coaching is pretty bogus, right? Number one, overemphasis on superficial metrics. Okay. Overemphasis. It's good to emphasize it. Like, hey, you can have this fame if you do XYZ, okay? It's good to prioritize it, but don't make it an overemphasis. Okay. You know, I've been exploring a little bit of psychology recently. I learned about this term, a high functioning codependent. Okay. An HFC, a high functioning. I never heard that before. Like someone who functions really well, but still has that, um, you know, issue of well, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. That's a separate topic. So success coaching focuses on external achievements, right? Like wealth, fame, status, while neglecting inner fulfillment, authenticity, things like this, right? So it pushes like 10 steps to success. Step one, do this. Okay. Step two, do that. Step three, okay, make sure that you do this. Yay, the self-help community starts clapping, okay? But it doesn't consider our personal purpose or our values in any way, right? They're not asking us personal questions. They're not connecting. So I would say the next one would be definitely a lack of depth, okay? A lack of depth. It's very surface level, right? Most coaches just use motivational hype. They create temporary inspiration, but they fizzle out. There's no lasting transformation because they're not being real. They're not being themselves. They're putting on a show, they're putting on a mask, and they're trying to put it out there, right? Now, this creates a psychic resistance, right? Where you feel this persona fatigue, this judgment fatigue, and things like this, but it doesn't address deeper emotional or spiritual issues that might prevent sustainable growth, right? So with depth, we can go deeper into our inner worlds and actually learn what's going on to know our thyself, right? To know ourselves, tenet noske. So success coaching promotes a mindset of comparison And it sometimes creates these imposter syndrome, burnout, these types of words that you might have heard. Okay. The focus is on just crushing it. Just crush it, bro. Okay. And it leaves people just feeling quite hollow, right? Quite inadequate. Like they're never really there, right? So they keep chasing it. So many coaches equate material gain with success, overlooking the need for mental peace, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. This materialistic focus creates a cycle of chasing external goals without inner alignment. Okay. So misguided metrics. It's not a right way to measure yourself. Okay. I mean, if you equate your success with self-awareness, with emotional intelligence, with inner peace, then by all means, go for that. But if your idea of success is like, I have to hustle and grind and don't stop, baby, hustle 24/7 until the wheels fall off. Okay. Until the wheels fall off. What are you saying? You need rest, okay? So instead of addressing the root issues of dissatisfaction or limiting beliefs, success coaches just offer these surface level fixes. You might have noticed this. You might have worked with a coach before where you're like, what the hell? I left feeling more unfulfilled after achieving the goals because my deeper needs were unmet, right? They offered me a band-aid solution. They didn't offer me a lifestyle solution, okay? Now, why does spiritual coaching transcend success coaching? Transcend, meaning it doesn't distance itself from it, but it accepts all of it, the frameworks, and then rises above to see from a higher perspective, higher paradigm. So spiritual coaching focuses on authenticity, okay, being real. I could not be a coach in the spiritual world, in this field, if I were inauthentic, if I were just, saying what everybody else was saying. I have my own unique approach in the way that I look at flow state, the way that I look at the world, and you guys enjoy that. The little voices that I do, it makes me who I am, right? So I'm not going to take away from that because I'm not attached to that external idea of success. I want to really focus in on how I'm feeling internally, and that's what matters first. That's what matters first. Then the outside starts to shift and change. And trust me, I've changed. Go back to my old videos, you'll see. Okay, I'm not the same guy that I was when I started. I've kept shifting, I've kept refining the character. And it invites introspection, clarity, what truly matters in your life, right? It focuses on a holistic transformation, which means mind, body, spirit. It's not just mind, it's not just body, it's not just spirit, okay? It's all three. So, okay, there's a bit of a delay time for me. 1 second. Okay. So it's integrating all aspects of the person's inner being, and it helps people dissolve their limiting beliefs, heal their emotional wounds, and connect to a higher purpose. So instead of promoting this comparison trap of like, this person is more skilled than me, why not try a more interconnected approach that aligns you with the universe? Because once you know the universe's laws, you can have much more surrender and willingness to go through this life with gratitude rather than rivalry. Okay? Collaboration rather than ego-driven achievements. Okay? We have this meme. It's called the cocky shaman. Okay? Where we talk about like the shaman who's just like, you know, the Akashic records, I'm the one who created it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just outrageously, outlandishly, ridiculously funny and exaggerated, right? Sort of like it's a Sigma meme, but spiritual. It's like it's essentially the priest beast or the priestess beast, that character of the savage shaman who aligns with their higher truth and higher purpose. And they can draw on ancient philosophies, and it can help people with their own resilience or how they can adapt in life, right? Because in life, you have to learn how to weave, you have to learn how to adapt. You can't just go from one thing to the other thing to the other thing. There's got to be a weavability, a smoothness from one thing to the next. And that this is how I choose to be or live. If there's a clunkiness throughout my day, it ends up being a clunky mind, you know, and then I started getting into arguments with people or little things happen that take me out of my flow, you know. So really I'm looking for that timeless wisdom, connection over competition, and freedom from attachment. Because spiritual coaching teaches this principle because success is refined as living authentically in alignment with your higher values. If you are living out of alignment with your highest values, that means that you're going to feel very trapped, right? Very like limited in your own expression. So that means you have to allow for the flow and trust in the process rather than fixation on some specific result, some specific outcome that you're like, I need this. I need this to feel okay. No, you don't. By delving into the subconscious and understanding the root cause of your fear or your lack, now you can break free from these shackles, right? You break free from society's conditioning and you embrace a very, very unique path for yourself. Shout out to the ancient world of Atlantis. I was there in the astral last night with my girl, and we were exploring, you know. We went on many adventures, and it was an incredible experience, you know. But if you think that, but did it bring you success though? If someone was to say that to me, I would be like, bro, that's not the point. It's about the experience, right? But what exactly is it? How is it supporting you exactly? It's my inner power. It allows me to do more, see more, explore my subconscious, right? It's like, do I really have to explain myself to these people? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. So what stops people's spiritual gifts? What stops people's spiritual gifts? Okay, let's talk about that because I think this is a very, very important topic. Number one is lack of authenticity. If you're not aligned with your true self, then you suppress the divine flow. You're pretending to be someone else, and that's creating this weird energy block in your own system. It's disconnecting you from your spiritual essence. Your spiritual essence is always here. It's mine. It's right here. So stop pretending to be someone that you're not. When you're not aligned with your true self, you distrust yourself. You have trust issues. Okay. So failing to express your creativity or emotions or voice limits the channels through which spiritual gifts manifest. So if you suppress your expression, you will express your spiritual gifts. You will, I mean, limit your spiritual gifts, right? So your authentic expression is like a spiritual antenna because it helps you tune into these higher frequencies. And once you're there, everything else starts unfolding from there. Next thing is what stops your spiritual gifts? Repressed emotions. This is a big one. Oh, my baby's proud of me. Thank you. Repressed emotions is a big one, okay, guys? It's when we just kind of keep it inside us, you know, and we harbor it inside our heart walls and we hold it. It blocks our intuitive clarity. It creates this inner friction and it doesn't allow our emotions to flow freely, to clear, you know, energetic pathways, to create space for spiritual downloads to happen, right? So over structuring your spiritual practice or taking things too seriously limits your spontaneity, therefore your playfulness. I truly believe that playful success is way beyond. I'm not here to put them in a hierarchy, but if you can play yourself to the finish line, if you can keep that childlike quality of joy and lightness and spontaneity and loosey goosey, baby, right? That energy, if you can maintain that and win, now you just have to keep maintaining that to win even greater. So what you did is you set in stone the right vibe, the right frequency, and then everything else started to crescendo from there. It felt effortless. It felt purposeful because you were following your dharma, your path, okay, the Tao. Instead of becoming overly fixated on a specific ritual or some method or some technique, you knew that the techniques were tools, not the source of the gifts. You know God was the source of the gifts. You knew that over attachment can hinder your flexibility, yet you still remained overly attached, right? So it's like we have to understand ourselves. And we also have to embrace the divine child within us all, because these qualities keep us open and receptive to divine inspiration. So if we view our emotions like sadness, let's say we imagine sadness. And I'm feeling into sadness right now. And my body's welling up. I feel like crying. There's tension around my expression. I feel there's a limited expression. But then what if I started to max it out with love? If I just closed my eyes, wherever the sadness was, I started to see it differently, right? I started to view sadness as energy in motion, a dynamic being, not the static like being, right? But a moving being. So the sadness is moving through my body, and it's flowing and it's flowing and it's flowing. And after a while, when it's flowing and it's done what it needs to do, joy emerges. Joy and laughter happens. Maybe sometimes, you have tears of joy too, right? So if I view my sadness as this bittersweet thing now and I've blasted it with love, sadness is more joy waiting to happen, right? This is beautiful mindset. Hey, sadness is just more joy waiting to happen, okay? Flowing with your feelings clears blocks. It makes way for higher states of being. The thing is, we rigidify it. We take it so seriously that it sinks our mind, right? Like if someone is threatening our life, we can't think positive in that moment. We can't tap into our spiritual gifts in that moment. Our whole system is on survival mode and shutdown mode, protecting ourselves, right? And so when we can align with that higher power to assist our survival, we we allow grace to add to our life. So spiritual gifts unfold in divine timing, which is very true. So we have to remind ourselves that our gifts and growth are lifelong journeys. Amen. Many people think I'm not even 31, right? Because I tell myself I'm in my prime when I'm 60. I'm in my prime when I'm 60. I keep saying that, you know? No, I'm in my prime when I'm 60, you know? So of course I'm going to have a beautiful journey of this upward spiral growth where even in my old age, I start getting more crystallized, more refined, more mature, more in my spiritual world, understanding this physical body is wrinkling away so this light can transcend. And this gift is a lifelong journey. It's not an overnight success. Again, an overnight success isn't an overnight success. You took many years to get you to that one precipice at one point. It was the consistency and then the overnight success. Don't just blame it on the overnight success. Nothing is done overnight like that. Okay. Yes, you did consistently do something and then you found the right pocket of inspiration or this one moment to channel all of that into that. That's overnight success, right? But don't think that, oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and then I'm going to have abs or something. Like, don't overwhelm yourself like that, you know? Just learn to love and enjoy what you have in your body and your mind, and remind yourself that I am safe. I am here. I'm approved. I'm internally validated. I don't need approval, right? I'm safe. I'm right here. And I can let go of control. Let go of control. Okay, my hands are on the driver's wheel all day. Ah! Let Jesus take the wheel. Okay. Read the disclaimer, okay? And playfulness doesn't negate success. Okay. This is huge, guys. Okay. Playfulness doesn't negate success, it enhances it by inviting enlightenment and innovation. A lot of people think success has to be the serious thing. I have to just, I just have to put on my work goggles and here I go. But I can work and engage and be very professional because I'm consistent, because I'm showing up. You see? I understand that success flows where authenticity and playfulness grow. Okay? Many people say attention goes where energy flows. I say success flows where authenticity and playfulness grows. So I trust in my divine timing and I let my gifts blossom with ease. However, I have this ambition, this spiritual ambition to enlighten myself and others, That's that masculine dominant energy that I have that it's a must in this lifetime. I've been through many lifetimes. Now it's a must. And this gives me a whoosh, this energetic transmission of all these bodhisattvas, When I align with this playful, authentic energy and I let my spiritual gifts just naturally emerge, it frees me from any blocks, any shackles. You were still young. Thank you, baby. Yeah. My youthfulness, I have not lost that. I am the child who survived, the creative adult. Okay? Because I haven't let go of that part of me that still wants to have fun, be goofy, be silly, engage, create, make my life the greatest theater, greatest movie ever written, right? May the best movie win. May the best you win. Okay. Let's go. And it's not a win-win, win and lose, right? It's a win-win-win. It's like win-win-win-win. But everything else, win-win-win-win. Okay. I win, you win, we all win, the universe wins. What's there to lose? What's there to lose? There's people that we can lose, sure, but they come back in another form, correct? Whatever God takes away from us, we get it back in another way better way. Okay? So you got to know, you got to understand this energy. It's an invisible energy. And if you just keep relying on like the Tony Robbins seminars or like what Gary Vee told you on some podcast, you're never really going to delve deeper into your own spiritual world. You're always going to bypass it, push it away, think it's woo-woo, think it's nonsense, right? Rather than actually exploring your own hidden truths, your own inner world, right? Don't get caught in the superficial ego games of it too, because it's like, I've been there, man. My business used to be called Coaching with Zoom, right? It's my nickname, Zoom or Zoom. And nowadays, I mean, I went from Coaching with Zoom to Flow Zone Academy to Primal Sutra, right? So think about it. Think about the way that that transformed, okay? One is like about me. Flow Zone Academy is like this academic kind of vibe, right? Like it's still teaching. Primal Sutra is like the formula for all, for oneness, the understanding of coming back to source again, that we can create our own avatars, that we are these vessels of light, and we can tap into these invisible energies from any pantheon that we choose and come out of the other side, gleaming and shining. As long as you match that frequency to that being, you will be able to transcend and manifest and do things with that energy. As long as you're just tapping into that similar frequency wavelength as them, you will be able to understand them. This is how spirit communication happens. You're on the same wavelength. Okay. So it's really, really important for you to understand you're not just wasting time with all these coaches, just like, spewing, like swinging you from one side to the other side. And then you're like, you know, I really want to be confident. So I'm going to hire a confidence coach, right? Let's say you do that. Now, after a while, you've gotten your confidence coach, you got your degree to you yourself become a confidence coach. And then you go to another coach and you ask him for confidence help. Okay. Haven't you already become an expert of confidence coaching? I mean, why do you need still the validation from somebody else to see if you're okay enough to be a confidence coach? That's not very confident, right? You see what I'm saying? But I'm just pointing this out to you guys because a lot of people do this. We do this, right? Everybody just wants to be loved, accepted, man, right? If I told you you're the king of the world, you are the best, you are the absolute pinnacle of the entire planet, and you really let it get to your ego in your head and it blew you up and made you like this massive asshole, and like you're just walking around, knocking shit over, like that would be partly my fault, right? But also, I didn't know that it would have that effect on you. So it's not my responsibility how you handle how I make you feel. It's your own feelings coming through this vessel that is expressing something, right? And so we're always expressing something. It's important for us to look at it from a distance in times and think, wait a second. Yeah, you know what? That's me. That's not me. I'll absorb that. I'll discard this other thing, right? And so when you have this discernment, you kind of have to treat this energy work thing like a game of Aikido. Okay, you guys get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Aikido, right? Or a judo or something like this fighting style. They come and attack you, and you use the enemy's opponent's moves, their energy, against themselves, right? To flip them. So that's the energy of negativity that you want to do. So negativity is coming at you. You use the energy of negativity against itself like a medicine, disappears. Or you add so much positivity that it destabilizes the negativity. It doesn't know. The chaos doesn't know what to do when light is shining on it so brightly, right? So the chaos is coming at you. You're like, I have nothing. I don't need anything, and I am everything. And, I'm self-sufficient. The moment you feel a sense of lack, the lack sends these different negative beings because an entity is a reminder of lack as well. The 7 deadly sins are all from lack. Greed is not enough money. Lust is not enough sex, right? What else? Envy is not enough approval or attention, right? So it's that energy, right? My babe says, how do you breathe underwater? I'm the Makara, baby. I'm on the bottom of the ocean right now. It's natural for me. Though I believe I'm a land swimmer more so than than an Atlantis swimmer, for sure. But yeah, I froze time, so it's all good. I froze time so the water isn't moving. All right. So you really got to understand this. The word sin just means you missed your mark. So why not keep making the mark? What is the mark? The divine. That's it. Keep going back to the divine. Even if you lose your track, you become homeless, you become unemployed, you start to grow a scab. It doesn't matter the external circumstance. You still delve down and understand that there's an invisible energy there for you, right? There's an invisible energy protecting you and taking care of you like a father would take care of their child, right? Just like a loving heavenly father takes care of a child, we are the children of that mighty father, the heavenly father. Okay. So you might have an earthly father for sure, but you also have a heavenly one. So if your earthly one has been mistreating you, Maybe you want to forgive him, right? So that your father, your authentic father, your earthly father can also forgive you. Okay? Both are your authentic father. I mean, but one is your divine father, the one that breathes through your prana, that one, the God breath, the thing that keeps you moving, calms you down in moments of stress. It's that. It's that energy that you feel within your own body, or gaudy, as I would say. That's so lame. God body, right? Um, but no, it's God's energy flowing through your body, is what I mean to say. The divine, the gnosis, the Sophia, that energy. Um, it's from the Gnostic tradition, okay, these understandings, these words. And so really understand that how you can reveal these divine gifts to yourself, because it's all revelation, you know. Every day you have these epiphanies and revelations, right, about your spiritual path. Maybe it's through watching these videos, maybe it's through your own life, but something or the other clicks for you. You're like, yes, quite. I know how to do this differently now. Okay. So I want you to continue doing that, because it's such a powerful practice to be able to actually see your day, but then assume that your day is already accomplished in full light and wisdom, right? So whenever you feel lost and scattered, you say to yourself, what would the most loving and wisest version of me do? What would the best version of me do? And if it's not an action taking thing, who do I need to be right now in order to be my best self? Who do I need to be right now in order for me to be my best self? I already know who I am in the future. That's the thing. That's the trippy part. I already know who I am in the future. And I can see it very clearly. But I can't let that ever take away my light, my humility. Because a lot of these darker forces have been trying to take me away from this path, right? To not help people. Hey, they might even whisper in your ears like, this guy's not, this guy's not really divine, he's demonic or something like that. You might like that little voice of doubt that creeps in, it starts playing in the background. So even if you don't believe it to be true about someone, it'll still play like a record. And until you drop that thought and you're like, that's a bunch of nonsense. I'm going to live my life according to my principles, what I know, and how I'm going to move. Let's go. Let's do this, right? Until you double down on your own self-sovereignty and who you know you are, that's when it's going to take over. Okay? Okay. It works, calling me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you. Take care of yourself. And may we never be the same again. Okay? Love y'all. Let's get it. Upward spiral. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Bye now. Much love. Peace.